In the Know.
Welcome to In the Know, and we are here today with a very special guest. We're going to let him introduce himself. He's going to tell us who he's with and the mission that he's working with, but we're going to have a good conversation, and I'm going to thank Doc V for being. Hi, Doc V. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Welcome.
Hey,
We have Mr. Josh King with NeighborLink. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are and what you're about.
Oh, man. My name is Joshua King. I am the Director of Community Engagement at NeighborLink Fort Wayne. We are a local not-for-profit that mobilizes volunteers to do good work in the community. And so basically our mission is practical acts of service to show God's love. And so that is anything that has to do around the home, simple things like lawn mowing to more complex things like HVAC. So anything that has to do with around the home, we're just trying to we're trying to literally live out the command of love your neighbor as yourself. So
That is so beautiful.
That is good.
Man, and you know what? I see you guys sometimes, at work. I'm going to say there's no age limit or requirement.
no, I mean, we want you to be somewhat of like an adult, but we do work with teenagers and we partner together with different youth agencies, and we even have a group of retirees that meets on Tuesday mornings.
Oh, wow.
That go out and do most of our wheelchair ramps called Carpenter's Son. So shout out to them if they're watching, but they do most of our wheelchair ramps, and so they're all retired.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, give us the origin or the formation of NeighborLink, and then we'll get into some more conversation.
Yeah. So John Bars, he's our board president. He's the most humble guy you'll ever meet. He would probably hate me saying this about him, but he had a vision of just wanting to share the love of Jesus in the most simplistic way. And so he would tell you the story. He was going out and they're passing out light bulbs. And this guy he was interacting with was like, I don't want your light bulb, dude. And he was like, well, it's a free light bulb. And he's like, why don't you want it? He's like, because I know it's got an attachment to it. It's got a sermon attached to it. And so for him, that kind of trickled down some things, and some things that happened in his life that he used some of that trauma to begin to work and create NeighborLink to something that, again, using some of that pain and experiences to create an organization that is literally a blessing to the whole community. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And how did the name? Because you can think about it. We live next door to a lot of people now, but we're not neighbors like we used to be. How did NeighborLink, the name, come about?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, really, it's the simplistic idea of just linking neighbors together. And so in a country that is, once again, divided, we're just trying to bridge that gap between humans and trying to make sure to remind everyone, like, we're all humans and we all have basic needs that need to get met. So,
And you know what I think is amazing when you say NeighborLink and you fill in the gap. You're filling the gap with love.
yes.
And I've seen you guys in action, and that's why I say that, because some of these kids they are super tiny,
Right.
but they are so engaged and they are happy to be working and doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's just a blessing, like you said, for the community, but it's not just in our community.
Right.
So how far what is the reach like?
So, I mean, we go out all throughout Northeast Indiana, but we have certain chapters that are around, and it's part of this network that we're still trying to develop, the national network. And so hopefully we are going to have the dream would have a NeighborLink in each city that is being pretty much like partnering with the local church.
Right.
And so basically, like, the church is being mobilized to do the work, and NeighborLink is just a tool for the church to be able to use.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Now, you were talking about volunteerism and being active in the community. If we all paid attention, about 3-4 weeks ago, you guys were very active in the community.
Yeah.
I know, and please forgive me, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know you partner with Smith Academy,
Yeah.
ONV, Building Kings and Black Hawk Christian Church.
Yes.
And what was that event, and what all did you accomplish in those?
Yeah.
that day?
So first of all, they killed it. They did a great job. And so we have a particular block, a street block on Capitol Avenue that we really love. And there's some neighbors there that I have personal relationships with. And so that's the beauty of NeighborLink, is that we're trying to not only just complete projects, but develop these relationships. And so there's particular people on that block who I genuinely really love. And so I've kind of taken it to say, like, hey, like, we can learn a lot from the people in this space, not just come and be saviors, but actually learn from them and serve them. And so, yeah, they did lawn mowing, trash cleanup, all types of different things. And those students did an amazing job. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
They did an amazing job, and I love the way they were connecting with each other.
Yeah.
Because they didn't all come from the same place.
Right.
And the same environment, the same block.
Right.
They weren't neighbors.
No.
But yeah.
Right.
So watching them in action, it made you feel real
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, being that, and I love your message, but I'm going to think back to where you said the light bulb, because a lot of people don't want to be bombarded or, beat down with religion or whatever.
Yeah.
So how do you maneuver and segue when you're trying to do your help, but still want to get the message out?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me specifically, I have a degree in biblical studies, and I also am in my master's. And the hardest thing that people don't understand is, like, people care more about your life and the way that you walk and talk rather than what you're actually shoving down their throat.
Right.
So I can tell them Jesus loves you so much, and I can keep telling you that until I'm blue in the face. But if I'm not actually doing it, or I'm doing anything to show them that I love, like, it means nothing. And so I usually call it like subtle spirituality, where we are continuously, like, and being the hands and feet of Jesus. Like, Jesus tells us, like, this is where I am with the poor, the sojourner.
Right.
Like, his actual presence is there. And so if I want to interact with Jesus, I'm actually being blessed as a volunteer because I'm actually serving Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's so much less about me coming to be some sort of savior or anything like that.
Right.
I'm interacting with the presence of God by serving my neighbor, by loving my neighbor. So,
when you say that, I'm hearing you decrease.
yeah.
And then, so Jesus, the presence of God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Increases.
Yeah.
In your actions.
Yeah.
And so we always hear people say love is an action word.
Yes. Yeah.
Faith without works is
Yes,
dead.
it's
So
dead.
you're living
Yeah.
the Bible. And it also
Yes.
says that be a living epistle.
Yeah.
You are,
Right.
Yep.
right? Read
Yep.
of men. You
Yeah.
may be the only Bible
Yeah.
that they will pick up or read,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And the Spirit of God resides here, right? Like, we know God's presence is on all places, but
Yes.
Paul says, the St. Paul says, we are now the temple in which the Spirit of God resides in.
Yes.
And so we are actively, in an act of worship, doing the good works because it brings glory back to God. And so God's glory is fully magnified in the way that we treat our neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Wow.
In a world where a lot of us have written off younger generations and things such as that,
fair.
how do you?
It's fair. Yeah.
So how do you keep the young people encouraged and to be engaged, to stay volunteering, to stay working? Because they have friends, they have other people. You don't need to be doing that, or that's just hogwash and nonsense. So how do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them engaged? And how do you keep them volunteering?
Yeah, I think the biggest things for our generation is, like, there's a fear of being forgotten, or even just like I'm not doing enough or being enough. And so part of this work is relinquishing the fact of control and saying, like, hey, like, this isn't fixating on me. You'll never see me posting a picture of myself or a video of myself doing the work. I just don't. That's not how I roll. But we're trying to encourage students to say, like, hey, you want to see this world change for the better. And I always tell people it starts with just, like, picking up trash. Like, when you see trash on the ground, it doesn't have to be this big thing. I talk to students all the time about climate change and the anxiety around climate change. I'm like, yeah, that's real. And that's a thing. But the thing that we can do now is just picking up that piece of trash. I see you guys downtown all the time. I see the trash downtown. I live downtown. So also my responsibility as a person in this community is I'm not too good enough to pick up the trash on the ground, So
Even
yeah.
if you don't work
Yep.
or volunteer for neighbor,
Yep. You can still pick up the trash.
Get out of your car
Yeah.
and pick up the trash.
Yeah.
Now, not only the young people. You said you have retirees that volunteer every Tuesday.
Yeah, they do amazing.
Now, let's just say I got a whole lot of free time on my hand. I'm
Okay.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
How do I volunteer?
Yes.
And what criteria do I have to meet to volunteer for?
Yeah,
NeighborLink?
so we don't want to send any creepy people to homes. So we do require a background check. And so it's a thing that you go through, and then you usually meet with me and we dialogue, kind of talk about like what you want to do and what are you interested in and what kind of piques your interest and your strengths and your talents. I'm not handy. So you're not going to see me on a roof. I'm afraid of heights.
You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one.
But I can mow a lawn. I can trim bushes. I can pick up trash. It's a simple act of God that we're doing, this love of God. And so it's whatever your talents and where your talents are. And if you don't want to volunteer, we always take donations and money. So
How do they do that?
So you can go to our website, nlfw.org, and there's 3 simple buttons. So there's I can help, I need help, or I can donate. So, yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Dr.
No, I was just going to say, so he just, basically opened it up for what I wanted to say. If somebody has work that, they need help with or needs to be done. So what's that like for them to get that done? And is there a waiting list or?
Yeah. So we are fully volunteer based. And I tell people this because there's a perception of so there's only 6 of us on staff. We're not a big staff.
Okay.
If I had the energy or the time to do every project or the skills, I would. Yeah. But we're solely relying on our volunteers to do the work. And so there's no queue system. There's no, hey, you get to, it's whatever fits for the volunteer and what the volunteer can do. They decided they could pick up that project. Again, I chose to do that project on Capitol Ave and bring some people with me, the students. And so, there's no queue system, and that's partially the frustration. But we always get at least a 50% completion rate. But right now we have the most projects on our site, over 1,000. So
oh my goodness,
there's a big need right now. So yeah.
And with that need, I want to talk about another form of donation. Say I am a skilled person, and I may have time. Do you open up for the youth as volunteer that there's a training? Or I have a skill.
Yeah.
Roofing. They need a roof. I need 10, 15 people to help me put on these roofs.
Yeah.
Do you have where that training is available for volunteers? Not only youth, but any other volunteer.
Right. No, I wish we did. That is something we definitely have discussed of people who are skilled in those specific areas. Say hey, would you be willing to kind of take these people with you and show them what to do? So when I first started at NeighborLink, I'd go with the Carpenter's Sons just to kind of see how they did the wheelchair ramps. Now, again, I can't build a wheelchair ramp. I'm just not that handy. But my father-in-law, he retired a few years ago, and now he's joined, and so he's doing the work now. And sometimes, I'll watch and do things like that. But this is the hard thing. It's again, I don't need everyone to build wheelchair ramps, and I don't need everyone to fix roofs.
Right.
We seriously, we just have this most simple, practical projects that you can do. Again, because loneliness is an epidemic as well.
Yes.
And so we had people on the site who are just I just need to talk to someone.
Wow.
My coworker, he did a project, and again, shout out to Brett, but he did a project and he said, a lady that he was working with, she hadn't talked to someone in a few months. So it's this is the thing. People go so unnoticed because we are constantly in this rush and going from point A to point B that we completely neglect the people who are exactly in our perimeter and around us. Right next door.
Right. And that's putting the neighbor back into the neighborhood. It's been said many a times that that's why they say we're in hoods now, because we don't know our neighbors. It's not that neighborhood anymore.
No, it's just
and this is an organization, like Doc V pointed out, with the young people. They came from all parts of the city, and some did not know each other before they got there, but they left neighbors.
Yeah.
And the impact that you do with the people, there might have been 2 or 3 people, on that street that, may not have talked to anybody, may
Right.
not have anybody come
Right.
visit them. You're in their presence, so
Yep.
they feel that right then
Yeah.
and there. And that's a gift of God too, just
It
to
is.
being in the presence.
Yes.
And we think that we leave. That's like this generation. Some elderly we write off. We just
Yep.
put them away,
Yeah.
and we don't go check on them.
Yeah.
Certain handicapped people.
Yes.
We just forget about these people.
Yeah.
And when you're out there showing that love and everything, that shows that there's still people that care.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And just something as simple as for your neighbor, and you said the elderly, but even a single woman could be afraid
Yeah.
to go out at a
Yeah.
certain time of night. And
For sure.
you could check on her or see
Yeah.
if she need her trash taken out to
Yeah.
the curb or something like that. I'm saying small things like
Yeah.
you just said. They don't have to be
Doesn't have to
major.
be big. No.
Yes.
No.
And so, but sometimes, we forget our neighbor.
Yes.
It's right next door to us.
Yeah.
And you said there were only 6 on your staff. Position wise and organizational wise, what does it look like on the inside of NeighborLink?
Yeah, I mean, so we have executive director, some directors, and some coordinators. And so, again, like my job is to kind of do this, get the word out, talk about what we do, the work that we do, what we're trying to accomplish, and invite people into that life. And so we are 6 very imperfect people. And I say very imperfect. There's days where, we have hoarding projects, and like that's like those are some of the hardest ones. And so the work is like heavy. And again, I can shout out every single one of my team members. Chris, who is our admin, she takes in all of the phone calls and she hears the stories of these neighbors, and she keeps our ears to the ground, right? Mm-hmm. And so she lets us know, like, hey, this senior needs something. She just experienced a death in her family. And so each one of our coworkers, like, there's titles, but the titles really kind of don't mean much, because if we need to fill in, like, I'll just fill in. Yeah. I'm not too good or better than anyone else to do anything. Matter of fact, Chris is a nurse, and she's way more, she knows way more than I do. And so, my coworker Ryan, he's a younger dude. He just graduated college, and he has a big heart for service. And so Robert, our communicative director, and Jeff, who you probably have seen Jeff around, he is literally the heart and soul. And he is out there, like boots on the ground, seriously sweating. And he's like 6 years old. Like, shout out to Jeff. He's on vacation right now and he needed the rest, but he's out there doing the work. And there's this, and again, I tell people all the time, like, I see Jeff lamenting and sweating and out from like 5 a.m. to late at night, just doing the hard work, and it goes unnoticed. So, yeah.
And I know there's a downside, because you spoke of that, the projects. How do you pick and how do you say no? Yeah. Respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard, because again, we can't do every single thing. Usually we don't try to give away money, because we just don't have the resources to do that. We try to connect them with different organizations to do that. The beautiful thing about Fort Wayne is that because we have so many non-for-profits per capita, like, seriously, there's so many non-for-profits here. We don't have to do every single thing. I don't have to start a youth program, because you have Youth for Christ and all these other things like around here. So like my biggest thing is, let me connect you with the right people who I'm very like in relationship with around the community. Because again, it's not about me. I can't do it by myself. NeighborLink can't do it by itself. We need other non-for-profits, and need churches. We need people. We need the government. We need the neighborhoods to be able to do this work.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's good. Now, what does collaboration look like with NeighborLink?
Yeah. So my biggest thing is, this might sound terrible, and it's not always a great return on investment. I am saying I will show up in support of not other non-for-profits and places, because again, like, as much love as I need and much things that I need, like, I know these other non-for-profits need to as well. So I can't ask people to do something. Again, I'm only one person, but I can't ask someone to do something I'm not willing to do. Right. And so I try to show up I love students. I was a former youth pastor. One of the most beautiful things I get to do is come to Amp Labs and talk about the work of NeighborLink. And then they do a project every year. And so Jeff Roberts, who's also part of Pave the Path. We've developed a relationship, even with Peacemakers Academy, like developing relationships with them.
That's cool.
I try to show up to support them and the mission that they're doing because God has them in a specific place and way. And so again, I don't have to reinvent the wheel, and then we can do and collaborate together and do projects together and things like that. So
yeah. That's like the United Way. They do the Day of Caring.
Yeah, they're going to be doing projects with us too. Yeah.
I volunteered with the United Way several times.
Yeah.
And that Day of Caring, you go out to sites, like you say, you go out to sites and you're cleaning, or you go somewhere. I can't work outside. I have allergies, but I can pick up the trash.
Yeah.
I can paint things.
You can do the dishes.
Yeah, I can do the dishes, but I can paint things. So I understand that there's a skill or a need for all of that. So, but one thing you did mention is how do we donate? How do we volunteer? But I'm in a crisis.
Yeah.
How do I reach out to NeighborLink?
Yeah. So again, you go to our website, nlfw.org, or you can give us a phone call. Our phone number is on the webs. Usually you get a hold of Chris. Chris is our admin, or volunteers. Our titles change so much, but you'll get Chris, and she's amazing. Yeah. We'll get your project in. And again, we can't promise or guarantee that it will get done, but we promise that the community will see it. It's this big online bulletin board showing us like what the needs are in our community. So say like I am a carpenter, a painter, whatever, a mechanic, somebody car broke down. Yep.
How do I go? Do I go to that same website and find a job?
Yeah. So literally, when you pull up, it's GPS based too. So when you get that little notification on your phone and you say allow, and so it shows you all the different projects in your vicinity. So yeah, and it's very convenient because again, I can't drive through the city without knowing that there's a project like down the street here. And again, I live downtown and I can see all the projects around me too as well. So
yeah.
And so when you say that, and I heard you say that somebody was working pretty late in the evening, do you guys have like a start or a cutoff time, or is that totally up to the volunteer?
That's up to the volunteer. And so we have a shop down the road from here, and we have tools and resources too if a volunteer wants to do the work and they don't have like a lawnmower. Like I don't have a lawnmower, so because I live in an apartment complex.
Okay,
my wife and I do, and so I'll go to the shop, load up a lawnmower, and then I'll hit up a couple of lawns and mow during the day when I have the chance or opportunity. If I don't have a meeting, so like even tomorrow, I'm going to be mowing some lawns.
So that's what I wanted to kind of challenge the community on. Are there things, equipment, tools, and things like that you guys would benefit from?
Oh yeah, we'll take
space.
We'll take donations for things that work. Like, please, we'll take anything.
I like the concept of the free flowing as well, because my schedule might not be the same schedule as somebody else's, so that gives me the flexibility to volunteer on my time.
Yes,
and I don't have to commit to a time to do that. And that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I tell people. That's the beauty of what we do. And again, we're trying to make it so simplistic that you are able to communicate with this neighbor like face to face. Like, and this is the beautiful part of the mission is like, I respect mission trips and when you go overseas, but there's so much of a need here in our own backyard.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's not this thing of like, oh, peace out, I'm done when I'm done with this mission trip and I got a good experience and I built a house or a hospital or whatever. But you can continue those relationships.
Yeah.
And they're not just a one and done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have to ask a question of you now.
Yes, please.
Now, you could be at any nonprofit or any ministry or doing any work.
Right.
What brought you personally to NeighborLink?
Yeah, so I was working at a church. My wife and I, we really have a heart for people, all people. We really believe like God's love goes to the ends of the earth. Jesus says in the text, like, I will draw all people to myself when I'm risen. I will draw all people to myself. And so I love the church, but I wanted to be somewhere where I could just exist with people and there's no strings attached. and that sounds weird.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
It sounds. I was just like, I don't want there to be a thing of like, oh, here comes Pastor Josh in the room, or here, like, I just wanted to exist with people. So I was gonna work at a coffee shop. I mean, I kind of give that aesthetic, but like, I just wanted to work at a coffee shop to just love people and just talk and have conversation.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing about NeighborLink is just like everyone's equal. I mean, when I really mean like it's everyone's equal.
Yeah.
And I believe like everyone's equal at the foot of the cross. And so I don't need to know your background. I get to just love you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a lot of churches active with volunteers and helping you?
Yeah. Actually, we got to do a project for a church, and that was beautiful. Kingdom First. That was awesome to be able to do. And then we have churches that plug in all the time, all around the city that do projects. And so, again, we're not the only non-for-profit in Fort Wayne.
Right.
And I always feel blessed when a church does. But what I'm really finding, again, is like people just want to have that human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And we give that's the best opportunity to do so. Because, again, inviting someone into your home is a very vulnerable thing.
Right.
It is one of the most vulnerable things that you can do. And especially inviting a stranger into your home. And so we get the chance to
the
do
Bible is
Jesus
was always inviting himself into
exactly. He was going to and fro, eating and drinking at people's homes. Yeah.
And even in this day and time, you have to be more safe, skeptical, or you have to be. But it's good that there are people that you can welcome into your home.
Yes.
That are trusting and that have the love of God, the love of Jesus, and they're bringing that with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so. Like I knew about NeighborLink, but I didn't know of NeighborLink.
Right.
You know, now you've given me some insight and understanding to what NeighborLink is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so my last question would be, say if I volunteered.
Yeah.
Would I go there alone or will other people show up with me, or is that totally up to me?
That's up to you.
Oh, okay.
So we encourage you to go with a group or with people, but it's completely up to you. And this is the one thing I will say, my heart too is to see our people like taking care of our people. And again, not in the saying of like we're better or worse. Right. I'm just saying like there's something special about when we come and serve our people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to get more brothers and sisters to understand that like our community needs help.
Yes.
And I get to go on that side of town. I see it. And so it's like, what if it looks like for me to like kind of lay down that ego and go and serve my brother and sister who is my neighbor.
Right.
Wow,
get back to being neighbors.
Exactly.
Get out the hood and get back to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to give you one more time. Let us know how we can volunteer, how we can donate, good services, whatever.
Yeah.
And how we can contact if you need help from NeighborLink. Just let everybody know.
Yeah. So please contact us. Oh, that's camera? Okay. You're fine. Yeah. NLFW.org. Please contact us. Contact Josh King. You can email me at josh@nlfw.org. Please just reach out. We will find something for you. If you want to donate, there's a donate button. If you need help, there's an I need help button. Shout out to Brett because he made it very simple. He is our tech director. So please, the barrier's low. I will go with you if you're scared to go on your first project alone. We just want the community to love the community.
Do you have any projects you need help with right now? Plug your projects. Tell me what you need.
So many things.
Just give a couple.
Okay, I have a neighbor right now. She is, shout out to Dolly, I love you. And her ceiling fan is wobbly, and that's just something she needs someone to come over and fix her ceiling fan. We have neighbors who just need their lawnmower or their lawn mowed right now because they got a fine from the city. So that's a big thing too. You get that fine, that's something that you have to take out of your budget so there's plenty of projects online, yard work projects that you can come and do. We have the lawnmowers, we have the hedge trimmers. Please just come out and see us.
Yes.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Man,
now,
I'm so proud.
Oh,
proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, because you don't meet people every day that say the things that you just said up here.
Appreciate that.
And not only
in love
say it,
and not
they live it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Help and no strings and just everything.
Yeah,
it's just so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, NeighborLink, it sounds like a good organization. Like I said, I knew about it. Now I know of it. I know the insides. Now, if you get a painting project, if it's on the weekend, that's probably the best I can do. Don't put a hammer in my hand. Don't put a screwdriver in my hand.
Man.
Wait, we may have to have you audition.
We have indoor painting projects. We got Scrapey. There's no short of a need.
Painting by numbers.
Painting by numbers.
Yeah. Don't tell me to unscrew anything. No, I can tear it up.
Yeah. Hey, my wife is the more handy person in our relationship. We completely bend those gender norms. Just saying, like, she's the one hanging stuff up, not me.
Cool.
Yes. But we have Josh here with NeighborLink, and I would encourage everyone out there to go to the website, volunteer, donate, do whatever you can. Time, effort, love, whatever you can give to them, go out. And as he said, you can do it on your own time. And this is about being neighbors, and it's about the love of Jesus. If you love is not just a word. Love is actions. Love is something that you give, and sometimes you don't expect back.
Yeah. Right.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Amen.
That's in the Bible too. And I see you loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Mm-hmm. Thank you again, and I pray that God keeps you
Appreciate it.
in good health and good everything to keep you in a way that you can keep your projects going.
Thank you.
We thank you for joining us. And Doc V, before we leave, what do we always say to our people?
Always protect your minds. A podcast by Neutral Voices Media Group. In the Know.